Hey Elijah, I know Monday is a big game for you. Second 100-yard game of your career, first in a while. How good did that one feel to kind of get going and open up in the offense like that?
No, I felt really good. I feel really blessed to be an opportunity. Just wanted to finish though.
And then I ask you because when I asked you about Nick Chubb a couple games ago, your face kind of lit up. It seemed like you enjoyed talking about him. This is the first time he'll be back in Pittsburgh since that season-ending knee injury. As a team, how are you guys supporting him? How do you guys have his back in this week, which he won't maybe show the emotion, but it's set to be an emotional game?
Yeah. I mean, we got his back no matter what. At the end of the day, football's football, wherever you play it at. And I think he has that mindset too.
Thank you.
No problem.
All right, we'll go to Daryl Ryder next. Daryl, you can unmute.
Yeah, Elijah, you and Jerry seem to be real comfortable right now and obviously very productive in the offense. I'm just wondering what has happened here in the last 2 weeks to really get you two guys going.
But like it's just, we late in the season now, we've been playing football for a little bit. Everyone's kind of understanding, running, similar plays at a different formations. Just I think it's just the repetition of just playing. It's time to click. It's been past time to click.
And after you guys beat the Steelers a couple of weeks ago, a couple of their players basically credited the snow for that. Is that something you guys saw, pay attention to? Is that motivation as you guys get ready to go back to Pittsburgh?
Yeah, I mean, a win is a win, no matter how you get it. So whatever weather it is, we try to do our best.
All right, let's go to Tom next. Tom, you can unmute.
Thanks, Dominator. Hey, Elijah, back to Nick for a second. He was talking before how grateful he was to how grateful he is to be able to go back and play in Pittsburgh after being hurt there last year. As a teammate, how grateful are you guys to know that he was able to come back from it? I mean, you said you've got his back, but how inspiring is it as well to see a guy go through what he's been through and then get back on the field?
Nah, exactly. I think Nick is the true definition of being a Cleveland Brown. I think the city embraces him, and even when I first got traded over here, that's like the first player that I thought of when I thought of the team. So to have him back and to respond the way that he's responding has been nothing but, super motivating to all the players and just, a high level of respect. We already had that towards him, but I guess it just raised, a whole nother bar.
Thanks, man.
Yeah, no problem.
Scott, you're next. You can unmute.
Hey Elijah,
How
when
you
you
doing?
talk about getting on track at this point in the season, how big a role has Jameis played in that, in the ability for him to find you guys and give you chances?
A huge part. Quarterback makes up a big part of the team. Allowing everybody to play the role that they need to play at the highest level, and then defense. Hopefully stay up the field so they can catch their breath, and then make stops when they need to make stops. So having a quarterback, it's just his leadership as well has been great.
He took those pick sixes really hard the other night. How do you think he'll respond to that?
A positive guy. You see what I'm saying? I don't put none past him, and then with also him being God fearing, I don't put none past him neither. So, it's definitely I feel like he's gonna respond well.
Thank you.
All right, let's go to Mary Kay next.
Yeah, Elijah, I saw that you had kind of a emotional, life-changing event, I believe, over the weekend, if I was looking at that right, maybe on your Instagram. And I'm just wondering, is that something that that you're willing to share? Do you have just a lot to be sort of happy and grateful about right now?
Yes, ma'am. I'm definitely grateful. About to have a baby is that babies is definitely a gift from God. So blessed to be an opportunity to have that.
Okay. And was that an engagement too, or was that just about the baby?
Yeah, it was an engagement as well.
Okay,
You
so
want to
lots
air out everything. It's all on social media.
so lots of life changes for you at the same time. And I mean, and then you go out and you have this big 100 yard game. I mean, was it all kind of wrapped up together in a sort of a big weekend for you?
Yes, ma'am. It was definitely a positive and grateful weekend for me.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
Mhm.
We'll take a couple more. We'll hit Tony Grossi and then Spencer. Tony, you can unmute.
Thank you, Dom. Two quickies. Elijah, I didn't have a chance to ask you after the game, but I saw a quote from you that you think you touched that defender who picked six?
I thought I did, but when I look back, I didn't. So I
Okay.
got to do a better job of having awareness and making sure that as soon as I'm falling out of bounds, I do a great job of running back and touching him.
Okay. The other question is, I think this is your first time with a team that's on Hard Knocks. Did you watch? Will you watch?
Uh, if it's on social media and it crosses my phone, probably, but I'm not gonna go out my way to watch it. I got other stuff I got to focus on.
Okay. Thanks.
No problem.
All right, Elijah, we'll hit you with one more. Spencer, you can go ahead and unmute.
Hey Elijah, this organization hasn't swept the Pittsburgh Steelers in a season since 1988. So in a year for you guys that hasn't obviously gone the way that you hoped, and some of these bigger goals are kind of, out of the equation now. Just how much is that a motivating factor for you guys? I know division games obviously carry a little bit more weight for you, and just what would it mean to you to beat that team twice this year?
Nah, I mean everything. Divisional games is like every single game is our playoff game. So just to be able to do that, especially since you said since what year?
1988.
Yeah, we got to change that. We got to break these chains.
Thanks, Elijah.
Yeah, no problem.
What kind of defensive call pairs you up against Marvin Mims in pass coverage?
It's, Tampa 2. It was a variation of Tampa 2. I got to run the middle of the field, so obviously I gotta know personnel and get myself deeper and situationally, right? I know he had some burners, but sheesh, 30,
Well,
30 yards down the field, it was a lot. So, to me, it was a great pass. Obviously it was inches from Ward being able to make a play on it, but I got to do better on that.
Is your assignment to cover him the length of the field,
No,
or
it's
only?
not. No, it's not like man to man on him. No, that's not what it is. I have a deep zone,
Okay.
and you look around the league, and every team in the NFL runs that coverage.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Next, we'll go to Ashley.
Hey Jordan, I guess what's important when you're facing a team for the second time in 3 weeks and it's a divisional opponent where you guys already have a bunch of familiarity with each other?
Yeah. But one of the big things is going back and looking at what they had success on, going back and looking at what they might be able to try, see how we played them and try and anticipate how they're going to make their adjustments. But a lot of it, at the end of the day, comes down to us and our execution. This game is really about, it's not necessarily about who you're going against. Obviously, they run variations of different stuff, but if you execute and use your rules right on defense, usually good things happen. So for us, it's executing at a high level, and then trying to anticipate some of those things.
And I know we asked you a little bit about this locker room and the vibes after the game the other night, but
Yeah.
just when the record is what it is, like, I mean, how do you guys get up as a group to still find that motivation, even though like the playoff picture is what it is and the division race is what it is at this point?
Yeah, I mean, honestly, if you can't get up for an NFL football game, right, that you're in the wrong business. At the end of the day, this is our job. We've chosen to play this game because we love it. And Sundays, whether you're in the playoff race or out or have a small chance, right, on Sunday you get that same anticipation, kind of anxiousness before a game, right? Like Sundays are Sundays. They all feel the same. So at the end of the day, right, it's not necessarily about the external circumstances. It has to be about loving the game and being consistent in who we are as players and as people.
All right, next we'll go to Scott.
Hey, Jordan. I know you guys saw him a couple weeks ago, but just Russell, how he's fit with that Steelers offense when he played you guys and just in general, including that Cincinnati game. How have you seen him fit in what they do?
Yeah, well, he's doing a great job, taking what defenses give, seeing it, taking care of the ball. Obviously Russ for a long time has been dynamic in his ability to use his legs as well and extend plays. Um, he's making all the throws, right? And he's seeing his matchups and he's taking the ones he likes. And they've got good playmakers over there. And honestly, the biggest thing that I see is he's just making really good decisions. Not turning the ball over, trying to take what defenses give him.
Kevin talked about how he's always been a great deep ball thrower.
Yeah.
You guys have struggled giving up some deep plays. You mentioned the 93-yarder the other day. So how do you prevent his strength, from showing up again on Sunday?
Yeah, execution, right? I talking about that play, right? Specifically, if I'm deeper, I think it discourages the throw in the first place. So it's execution, it's understanding personnel, who they are, what they like to do, and then we got to make plays, right? This is a playmaking business that we're in, right? If you make plays when your opportunity comes, right, those are the teams that usually win.
Thanks.
All right, next we go to Cam.
Jordan, kind of back on that leadership topic. This season, have you seen maybe some of the young guys who are going through this adversity, who dealing with the losses and having to rebound back? Have you seen maybe any specific examples of growth, or has anyone maybe picked your brain about, how to overcome that being young or being in a position that they hadn't been in before?
Yeah. Well, I can say in my room, right, Mahmoud has done a great job just in terms of his growth, his leadership, having the green dot at times, right? Being able to make that progression into a starting role. He's done a great job and is just, he's been a pro's pro, sitting back, listening, asking questions, asking for advice, and then going out there and executing well. So he's done a great job for us.
As a guy who's been doing this for a while, how can those moments really shape you as a player and the trajectory of your career as you're looking to grow like that?
Just in terms of like the progression, is that what you're saying?
Yeah, when you have to deal with that, I mean, obviously losing and going through that
Yeah.
adversity is not what you want, but what are the benefits to that? What are some of the things you can take away from that in terms of growth?
Yeah, I mean that's life, right? We go through hard things so that we come back on the other side and we're stronger. You look back on these times. For me personally, I look back on these times, the times that I had a couple, bad seasons, tough seasons, going through losses, couldn't find a win, right? These hard moments throughout your career. I look back at those right now, going through this, and can lean on some of the things that I've learned then. So, you bank it, you continue to push through, you lean on each other, and then you're better on the other side for it. So, yeah.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
All right, we'll go back to Tony.
Okay, I got two more questions, Jordan. First
Yep.
is at this stage, tell me, when your team is involved in Hard Knocks, do you personally watch the episode, and did teammates watch yesterday?
I have not seen it yet. I would imagine that I'm probably going to watch it. I know my wife wants to watch it real bad, so it'll probably be on. But honestly, I haven't really had the conversation with any of the guys, so I can't speak for anybody else.
So my second question is, so now not even a winning season is possible mathematically for the Browns. In your history, you're new to this rivalry because you're new to this division. But in times like this, and do players get personal satisfaction out of spoiling a rival's season?
I mean, I know in my past history, absolutely. There's situations, right, where teams they have aspirations, they're trying to get whatever it may be, first round bye, be first in the division, whatever it is. A lot of that stuff comes within the last 2-3 games, right? But at the end of the day, anytime you beat a division rival, right, it feels good, especially when they're playing for something. So, yeah.
Thanks.
Mm-hmm.
All right, we'll do two more. First one from Ashley.
Hey Jordan, just like given how the last game ended with Pickens and Greg, and knowing how emotional Pickens can be, you got a couple more penalties against the Bengals last week. Like, do you guys talk about, hey, keep your cooler heads here, let cooler heads prevail if he's coming at you, or you're in that situation like that? Like, just what's the response after a game ends, like the last time the Steelers were in town?
Yeah, we know it's going to be chippy. Whether it's him, whether it's somebody else, right? I mean, it's obviously part of his game, and you know, we obviously got it. We can't have penalties, right? Penalties kill drives, kill situations. So, yeah, obviously we want to be smart on that aspect.
Last one from Scott.
Hey, Jordan, what do you see from the both those running backs, Harris and Warren, and how they use those guys in combination?
Yeah, I mean they're physical, right? They're both downhill. They're both strong backs. You know, they are a run first offense, right? They like to hand those guys the ball. And so for us, you know, obviously it's a challenge every week, but going against these guys, you know, it's a different mentality, and you got to buckle up.
Thanks.
Cool.
Thanks, Jordan. Appreciate it.
Appreciate you guys.